You ever text the wrong person?
I have texted the wrong person.
Have you ever texted the wrong person that you're talking about?
This has not happened to me. It is a fear of mine.
Have you ever been on the receiving end of this? Someone talking about you?
Someone talking about me. Yeah, and that's why I'm like so aware of it.
Multiple times it's happened to me. Tell me what happened to yours.
I won't give specifics, but I text back, hey, I think you sent this to the wrong person. I don't even address that.
I think you were talking about me to another person, but you end up texting me.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm doing you a favor by letting you know it's the wrong person, but also we got to talk about this now.
And so like, let's just talk about texting. Like if you're talking about someone that's in your text to the, and that name is near the top, aren't you afraid that message is going to go to them?
Yes.
It's a very fearful,
because it's such an easy mistake to make.
It's an easy mistake. And it's also just kind of like, while I'm doing this, I'm being reminded you should never be talking trash about somebody.
No.
Via text.
Or at all.
Or at all. But
critical conversation should be had in person.
That's what I'm saying. More my point. Because the rule in life is, if you're going to talk about someone, you should be talking to them first.
That's right.
And you shouldn't be bashing them on text. I received some pretty gnarly text about me.
Oh, no.
Where you're just like, oh, wow. Hey, I think you meant to send that to somebody else.
Brutal,
homie.
Man.
The other person I have found once never replied. Like they're just so embarrassed.
Yep.
And the other one's just like, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
How can you say that?
This is so embarrassing. Oh my goodness. And I'm just like, yeah, I would love to be like, LOL, all good, but should we jump on a call?
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. You're only sorry because you got caught.
Yeah, what's that saying? Are you sorry because you're sorry, or are you sorry because you got caught?
That's right.
That's what's crazy. But yeah, the texting thing is wild. It's a challenging.
The whole digital world is just.
Or like, I saw someone say recently, like during the group chat, they have side chats, so what they're saying in the group chat is different than what they're saying to somebody individually. Or, and I'm like, dude, you better be careful. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a recipe. You're playing with fire.
I hate that. Yeah.
You're going to get caught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or how about this?
It's a dangerous game to play.
That's what do they call it? Russian roulette?
Yeah.
Or how about I saw this meme the other day that's like, it's like a sneaky face, like just like this little like smile. And it's like when you send a text to somebody across the room and you're watching them and you can't wait for them to read your text.
Yes, it's like so good. Hey, look at your phone.
Dude, that's so funny. But man, nothing, it just is a good reminder. Don't ever get caught sending text about people behind their back. And the best way to never get caught is to never do it. Let's go.
Is to lean in.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Leadership Leaning, where we text straight to you. We're texting you. You're a great leader. Hey, thank you to every person that likes, subscribes, comments, shares, getting the message out about this podcast. Really, it's not about the podcast. It's about a group. Some have called us a nation, about a group of people that are trying to get a little bit better about the subject that we love, about the practice that we are in, and that is the subject of leadership. We're trying to be the best leader possible that we can become. So thank you to every person that's along the journey with us. Make sure you also do not miss out on our weekly leadership emails. We're sending those out, some helpful content for you. Okay, today we are doing some questions and responses. We don't have the answers, but we can ponder, we can conjure, we can develop together a little response. So Nate Dogg and Warren G hit us with just hit the east side with the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. That's Nate Dogg.
Yeah, that's Nate Dogg. Yeah. D-O-double G.
Because he's the singer. Warren G is the rapper.
See, I never put it together.
Yeah. Well, they got the dude, and that's a known fact. Back up, because it's on. Yeah, anyways.
I wish we were live because I feel like people would have questions about what just happened. What just happened. We were live a little bit earlier on Instagram getting these questions from you guys. And this is going to be something we're going to be doing a lot more often is going live on YouTube.
Yep.
Specifically on the days that we record, we're going to be going live during setup and taking some questions from you guys. And so be on the lookout for how to get involved with those.
Yes.
First question comes from Adam Preaches.
He does.
With a Z.
Yeah, he does.
And
it's Preaches.
Yeah, Preaches.
Oh.
He really does.
Yeah, you know it.
He really does.
Let's go, Adam. It's good. Adam, it's good.
He said, what are some practicals to raising up leaders in the younger generation?
Wow. What are some practicals?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting one because every generation, when you used to be my youth pastor.
Long time ago, when you were a young man.
It was a long time ago. But can you still use the tactics that would have encouraged me on the youth today?
Yeah, I think that there's nothing better that you can do for developing a young leader than spending time with them.
Yeah.
One of my favorite verses, it says about Jesus, it says, and the disciples, they were with him.
That's it.
They were with him. They were playing Xbox. They're going to KFC. They're going to the game. They're watching the national championship. They're watching the inauguration. They're with him.
Yeah.
And in order for you to develop a leader, they got to see you not just on the platform and not just in position, but they gotta see the person. It's like whole saying, like, follow me as I follow.
Yeah.
They got to see you. They got, one of my favorite lines that Paul says is, I didn't just share the gospel with you, I share my life with you. So it's life on life development, life on life investment. So you got to put them in your back pocket. So there's some osmosis that happens, some transferring that happens being around. I watch you as a parent. I watch you as a spouse, the way you treat your wife. I watch the way you treat the baristas and the waiters, and they're just watching and being around you. And I don't believe that it's just caught and not taught. I don't like when people are like, well, leadership's caught, not taught. And it's like, well, the greatest leader that ever walked the face of the earth put his guys in his back pocket for 3 years and sporadically looked him in the eyes and goes, you know why I did that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I just did there, right? You know why that didn't. So he let them catch it, but he also taught them.
That's really
good. So I think you got to do both.
I remember you would tell us something. You say, they're going to go to whoever they see the most. And so either the drug dealer on the corner that's there after every, or you that's at the game, in the lunchroom, just being in front of people. Now in this digital age, it's like, are they going to go to Speed or Kai, or are they going to be in front of you because you're interacting with them?
You got to be visible.
That's right.
That's right. Don't be hiding in the back. Be visible.
Well, was there anything that you would take from when you were leading youth that you've transferred into now?
I think the number one thing that stands out right away is passion. I think you got to be, if you're not passionate, they won't be passionate. So what you care about and what you love, I think people catch that and they go, oh, your values are being transferred into me.
Yeah. I love that. I think people are afraid to be passionate because they're afraid to, what if people don't care what I'm passionate about?
Oh yeah, they will. They will. So if you care about serving the poor, you care about going out on mission trips, you care about, taking care of those that are in prisons, people are going to follow that. They're looking for leadership.
I love that.
And so, where did you develop such a care and concern for the poor? Well, this guy that was,
yeah,
that transferred to me.
He talked about it in a different way than I've ever heard.
It transferred.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. I'm not gonna try the name. I'm not gonna try it.
Give it a try. Give it a whirl.
I don't want to offend.
I can't wait.
If it's a name from,
I can't wait.
A pinthed.
Okay,
maybe it's from a different culture.
Yep. Yeah, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
I'm not going to do it.
No.
But I tried. I tried. Okay, what about the effects? Would you rather speak, maybe it's preaching, maybe it's a lecture, from experience or from wisdom? Which one's more powerful?
Well, let me just say this. A man with an opinion is always at the disposal of a man with an experience.
Say it again. That's
really
the
good. Bottom line.
What?
Experience trumps everything. However, that being said, why does wisdom call out to you? So you don't have to live a life full of experience. So if I tell you, hey, Nate Dogg, if you put your hand on this stove, you're going to get burnt.
Yeah.
And you don't listen to my wisdom and you burn your hand and it hurts and you go through the recovery process. Now, you have authority on that because you experienced it, but that doesn't mean wisdom doesn't know what it's talking about.
Right.
So I would choose wisdom, but I do understand the value of experience.
I remember you saying something, I can't remember the context, but essentially along the lines of, I don't want to communicate and not have myself in the message. People can't relate with that.
Yeah.
A story, a conversation.
Yeah. I always think that, in communicating, there's always two people I'm trying to talk about as far as like what they said on the subject and then what I think on the subject. What does God say about the subject? What do you say about the subject? What's God's experience or people that experience this in the Bible? And what did you experience? So I can tell you about what David did. But if I can also relate with a story of my life, the combo of those two things. Now, I'm not David.
Right.
And I don't face an actual Goliath, but I do feel inferior and do feel like I don't have that much going for me physically. But I do have some smooth stones and some experience and some authority to go against my giant in my life. And that experience I can tell you about might help you relate even more than David and his experience. That's what I'm always trying to do.
Okay, the next one. How do you work with a bad leader? I know that's kind of a generic question, but this is the question that if you're under a bad leader, you can't ask that leader.
Wow. Well, I think that this is just a part of life, and I've seen people that were once good become bad, and I've seen people that were once bad become good. And so when you say a bad leader, you've got to understand there is a dark side to every leader, in my opinion. So as you're looking at the bad, let's just pause for a moment and let's just be grateful and recognize they're good. They did something good to be in the position that they're in. And there is some good. You got to find the good. You got to look for the gold, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's gold in every person. There's gold in every leader. So if we want to focus on weaknesses and negativity, we can. But we can also just pause and look at their strengths and look at their grace and their gifting and look at what they did to get them there. And that helps me work from possibility rather than the negative that goes, they're stuck forever, they're never going to develop, they're never going to grow. So working with a bad leader, I got to start with appreciation. I got to start with value. I got to start with respect. That helps me get to a place of honesty. So when I work with somebody, I got to know, what is my relationship with them? What am I supposed to, the role I'm supposed to play here? All partnership starts with relationship. So I can't partner with somebody and work with somebody if I don't have a relationship with them. So that's where the relationship is forged and developed out of respect, out of appreciation. That's really what I'm trying to say. So start there. And if I can get some relationship, maybe I can get some partnership. But if I can't, then I can go, you know what? This person is not bad. Maybe they're dealing with some things. Maybe they got some issues, trauma from their childhood. Maybe I just try and write passes for people.
That's right.
What they've gone through financially, where they're at in their life. Maybe they've been rejected, abandoned, abused, betrayed, whatever, fill in the blank. And maybe this is not for us to work together. Yeah. But I don't like writing off people. They're a bad leader. Well, you're going to go through some stuff too,
Right.
And hopefully you have some people under your leadership that are like, you know what? It's like, I always appreciate kids that give a pass to their dad. Dad was trying his best. Dad was under pressure. Dad, I can see now when he was young. And I like that a kid grows up, instead of resenting their father and seeing the bad, they're trying to recognize the good. And with that respect, forges them into relationship.
That's right.
I remember in COVID in 2020, I was getting killed. Who wasn't getting killed? I was getting killed by a bunch of people within our church. And they were starting, kind of a group of opinion about me and about us. Let's be honest. And one of the guys in the group that got kind of swept into it stood up for me, and he started to say, "Hey, hold on, before you do all this, do you know if Georgia's having seizures today? Have you guys talked to the Veaches today? Or is Georgia in the hospital right now? Do you know how they're doing financially?" And he started to just bring up questions that no one had considered the person. And that's what I'm saying. It's always good to go, this person is not a bad leader. Let's try and think about it objectively.
Yeah.
Let's try and think at it from all sides. And let's try and forge a relationship, because then I might be able, out of respect and relationship, I might be able to develop some partnership.
It's really good. Okay, here's the next one. And maybe we can make this the last one. What are some key components you had in mind when building the culture that you have at Zoe?
Wow. When we were talking about culture, and, just one of my favorite lines about culture is, culture eats vision and strategy for breakfast all day long. And it does, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Culture trumps everything. Culture is everything. We studied, and it's kind of funny. Someone was just reminding me of this. There was a lady from the New York Times that came and shadowed me for like 3-4 days in 2000 and let's say 17, maybe 18. And she spent 3 or 4 days with me, and she came to like Giving Hope. She came to Sunday church. I'll never forget when she came to church at the El Rey. She came to one of the services, and when we turned around for a minute to mingle, I turned around to my left, and she was sitting right behind me. I turned around my left, and my boy B Win came and put this beautiful diamond necklace around my neck with a Jesus diamond pendant.
Great timing.
And I was like, bro, of all the Sundays for you to thank you so much. But I just seen the New York Times lady just writing down notes. He receives diamond necklaces during church.
Oh my gosh.
But she wrote this article, and I've never been more stressed. I've never been more paranoid. I knew it was coming out. I think it was like in December. And I was just every day like, oh God, she's going to kill me. She's going to kill me. I'm going to get killed. Why did I agree to this? Why did I say yes to this? I gave her so much access.
Yeah.
And she wrote a favorable article. I'm really thankful. And I really became friends with her, to be honest. I was hoping I'd get a favorable article because I really liked her, and I felt like I had a good rapport with her.
Yeah.
But I've seen reporters turn on you and crush you. So she wrote in this that, I said to her, we built our church off Hillsong and Highlands. Mm-hmm. The best two churches I've been to. Hillsong, in its day, I've never seen people serve the world, empower leaders, raise up leaders, the impact, the fruitfulness. Hillsong, you go to Sydney, you go to Paris, you go to Stockholm, you go to South Africa, you go to New York, you go to London, you go all up, and you never met people like this. All across the world, the same DNA. And then Highlands, Church of the Highlands, Pastor Chris, and just the systems and the leadership. And so when we were developing culture, I really wanted to take a lot of the good I was learning and gleaning from Hillsong and Highlands. And so I put a fusion, and I would add a third, City Church, really, of just trying to, what out of these great communities do I want us to have?
Yeah.
And then you got to develop your own language. I remember Pastor Louis Giglio saying he didn't develop his values for the first 5 years because he was wanting to make sure that when he released the values that they were truly their values. Because a lot of people have values on the walls, but they're not in the hearts. Mm-hmm. And you got to have values that get from the walls into people's hearts. Right. And so that was really my passion, is like, how do I build a culture that is truly us? Because culture is not what you say, culture is what you do. Culture is not what's on the wall, culture is your behavior.
Yep.
So I wanted to develop a culture that was truly going to be us. And the thing about culture I learned is you're never done working on it. Implementing it, developing it, learning it, policing it.
Yep.
It's always a part of who you are. People walk in and they don't have language to what they feel. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden they read your culture or they find the website and they go, oh, I felt all that. Mm-hmm. I saw that. Oh, excellence is your standard? Yeah, that place is excellent. Generosity is your privilege? Oh, wow. Yeah, you could feel how generous those people are. Whoa. Serving is your identity? Yeah, I felt like those people were there to serve. Like, they're going to feel it.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
So fun. I love it. We're going to keep doing this. Questions and responses.
Yeah, I love it.
We love you. Thanks for sending them in. We'll go live soon. See you soon.